All right, welcome to the program. My name is Dr. Mankota. You are watching the TPN TV and Radio Network coming to you live from the United States of America. Today, we'll get multiple discussions we'll get for Mick. The first discussion we'll get for Mick get to do with the white paper. We all know, say, after the Commission of Inquiry, a lot of people, their name come in. Well, before the Commission of Inquiry, let's start from the beginning, right? Before the Commission of Inquiry, a lot of the former government officials, then be make like kind of a blanket, injunction for, seize some of them people, then then ban them from traveling the other way, being in a salon, where they're not being left yet. And some of them people, then they also then seize or then freeze them, the assets, especially the bank account. So when the Commission of Inquiry happened, now them people they need to target more the one the way they suspect, say probably either the money way them get na them bank account is not comparable with their salary, and then consider based on the declaration from the beginning where they appoint them as ministers or whatever position they may appoint them, government positions them. So then freeze them kind asset then they for them people then they. And after the Commission of Inquiry was conducted, and some of them people then they accuse them saying they either misappropriate government funds, so therefore they get for pay that money they back. One of the people then way they accuse now one young lady we na Miata Kargbo. Miata Kargbo, as we all know, now somebody we now in been the Minister of Health before the Ebola, and during the Ebola now in then replace him from that position and it. So the white paper can talk say, well, Miata get money now in bank account, the two bank accounts, then we it's just too much for somebody. We then they pay less than what he get my bank account. Okay. When the accusation they come, me personally, well, first of all, I've been don't reach out to Miata Kargbo for a long time after the white paper come. I say I want for make a kind of TPN, let we get your side of the story. So Miata Kargbo say because of the appeal case where it try for make, so therefore you not want for talk to the media yet. But after that case, it can't tell your side of the story. All right. But briefly, it tell me a little bit about your side of the story. And the reason what make not for everything I get for telling them because they still get appeal process where they get for go through. So, but just a few of the things that we tell me. Before they even appoint her, according to Miata Kargbo, before even they appoint her as minister, it been get business is the way they do na salon. In fact, it been get then tankaya, then petroleum tankaya, we been the run for them and trucks, we been the run for them na salon. All them money then they been they put that money then they na the bank, and the money where they appoint her as Minister of Health. The money where they pay, like for example, for housing and other stuff, because in that they get house, that they live, so that money they all been they use at all. Just they go and call plus in businesses them where they also now it's just they put the money then they in bank accounts. So the one thing where the government for been done do before ever then freeze in account or accuse them of some of them thing and them, then for been done. Therefore, been don't ask and force and try to find out where this money come from. They say, but say at the end of the day, then get for vindicate him because he not do anything wrong. As alone, the time we been there as Minister of Health, he said not been doing anything wrong. So that's okay, that's fine. Let's wait and see what thing they go on. So a couple of weeks ago, Mr. Anthony Brewer, when in the Attorney General now, he sent out a letter where it recommends saying, then for unfreeze Miata Kargbo in account where the government be freeze pending the investigation. Then secondly, then for lift in travel ban. So Miata Kargbo no they not salon. Okay, but I mean don't put a travel ban on them after he don't left now. So you're not able to go to salon again. So the Attorney General recommend that them for unfreezing money for making using money. So because of this recommendation, a lot of people in the social media, some come out in favor and some come out against. A lot of discussion will go on. So now this is one for discuss today. And what I want for first of all, one for let we all know. And I've been not talk about this a long time ago. I've been talk about this long time ago because waiting maybe fair. No matter how somebody you determine somebody to be a criminal or you suspect somebody to be a criminal, that person there is still gets the constitutional right as a citizen of Sierra Leone, and that right there then for accord them to them. Now, when the SLPP government they free some of the assets of a lot of people them before they make the investigation. I believe say the SLPP government realize say hold on, let me just try for send this stuff here. So I believe say the SLPP government knows saying people, especially somebody who gets in account that they get for use for daily activities, expenditures, and some of that you can't freeze that money then. You they put that person there in a very, very financial difficulties, right? We already know that. Okay. So what happened? Let's say for the in the case of Miata Kargbo. Then Miata Kargbo don't go through so much after them freeze in account. You understand? It don't go through so much. And he live in America where things are very difficult in America now. Yeah, bills are not like Sierra Leone, right? Sometimes if you not get outside they sleep, they go to uncle or sister for go, catch day for some time. So a lot of them people they don't go so much. Miata Kargbo don't go so much, understand? Now, if one of the questions then where some of the critics of this decision make was, what happened if later, after the law unfreeze this account, and Miata Kargbo pull all that money there outside of the country, then later the appeal process where he get for do, then they go through, then can find out say she is guilty. What in the government get for do? But that's not just a good question. And now the TPN forum, I think we'll get some kind of that discussion, that kind of debate there with Mohamed Kutubu Koroma, we actually one of the people that we actually look a little bit critical of the decision. So he asked that question. So I flipped the question back. Okay. The fact that they don't owe this woman the money for almost 3 years, and he struggled too much, and he did not tell the people the same, he don't do anything wrong. The money where he gets, he found them legitimately. Now, if what happened if the government can find out say indeed the woman is correct, okay, he right for get that money there, not to thief money. Does the government of Sierra Leone go able to pay the damages where they don't cost for that woman there? That's not the question we get for ask yourself again. If the government of Sierra Leone go able for pay Miata the money where they don't owe throughout the years I am, where is want for spend, where not able for spend. If the government they pay damages to that, I'm not saying question where we all know the answer. Say the government not will pay that money there, that damage there at all. So that's not something where we know that, right? So But if the government of Sierra Leone now come out and say, yes, Miata Kargbo, even though the appeal process they go on, the need for unfreeze the account and lift the ban, in my own opinion, I don't know what's in the circumstance behind that, but anybody when intelligent somebody will begin realize, say, maybe the government don't get something for say, yes, this woman, the money, and that's not just a speculation that they do, right? This woman, the money we again at that bank the way they freeze, maybe he get that money legitimately. So this they get some kind of a negative impact on the government one way and a positive impact on the system another way. So what I mean now, a lot of people them believe say this government is very corrupt. This particular government, a more of a more focus on how to get into the other people them, like the opposition. This is the perception, generally speaking, right? That's not the perception down the way we get say this government is here to witch hunt the former regime officials them. We all know, say, yes, indeed, there is some kind of witch hunting. They go on political motivation, to say the least. They go on, and that's not good for the government. Why? First of all, it frees them people that did their asset without any kind of investigation or suspicion of some of them. They just see somebody money, he gets money in a bank, he frees the asset because he been the work for the government. So that person not able to do anything with that money there. Constitutionally speaking, I don't think say not the right thing way they're supposed to do. The government not supposed to do that, right? On the other hand, for people the way they look at things in a more positive way, or the surrogates of the SLPP government, they say, you see what you determine, say we not come for can witch hunt because look at when we find out say this woman in unclean will not get any money back. That's not the argument for SLPP surrogates. Okay, does it work? Maybe any of my commentators then go get their own opinion on that. But I don't see already now social media where some people then they try to flip this, say, oh, you know what? At the end of the day, the government they do well. That they tell you say the government look out for can we charge people them because they just want information saying everything go normally. That's not the discussion we will get forget today. You understand? Why the Attorney General recommends saying Miata Kargbo in account where them in freeze, therefore unfreeze them and for lift in traveling ban. Why the government or the Attorney General recommend that? Well, just like what I say, it depends on how people they see and within their own lenses and which part of the aisle you political aisle way there. But in my own opinion, I believe say the government don't can realize say probably they make mistakes for freeze this woman in money in the first place. Okay, that's number one. Now that make them now they want for compensation. Well, I don't know if I call them compensation, but at least they want for right the wrong way they don't do, even though the appeal process is going on. All right, that's my own opinion. That one the way I think say that one day I believe. Now, the other thing also after we don't discuss that, what we want to discuss is it has to do with the Sierra Leone Football Association. Some of us see the wrangling way they go around between Mohamed Kalon and the FA and the electoral commissioner of whatever, and then Mohamed Kalon put out some Facebook live messages. He bring one of his surrogate them, then can't talk them. All of a sudden, another group come back, then come attack Mohamed Kalon. It is a mess. The Football Association of Sierra Leone is a mess. No wonder why FIFA been banned with for, I don't know, for a long time, for participate because of them kind of nonsense there. And you know what? This is not a disgrace to we Sierra Leoneans. This is not a big disgrace. When we see the Football Association, they're not able to put their own house together for do a simple elections for make them able to get people officials that we get for do with the organization. It's very, 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 very sad. This is not the problem. This with Sierra Leoneans. Them you get people them waiting for themselves no more than they care. Sierra Leone in particular, this is the biggest problem. So we get Sierra Leone. Everybody that for himself. They know they realize, you know what? At the end of the day, I am doing this for the sake of the country. I am doing this for my own pocket, because otherwise, I'm not for being see all them kind of nonsense there where they go on down they come, they can attack the other person, they can attack the other person. Now social media, this is very, very bad. Dr. Kamara, before they put you on, your video look sideways, so make sure you put correctly. All right. So now let me bring in commentators them, and let me bring in Adams. Let me bring in Mr. Abdul. Dr. Kamara, I did bring you come, but all right. Adams, okay, now Adams, someone the two folks then just I think then kick them out. Don't tell me kick them out too. Okay. All right, Adams. Thank you very much for coming at the program. Okay.
Thank you,
Mr. Abdul, don't come back. So let's start with this letter where Mr. Anthony Berra where he put out for Miata Kargbo for saying the need for unfreezing in assets and lift the ban. And a lot of people then say, oh, you know what? Something is not right. Sierra Leone are very pessimistic in certain things. They will not even believe in justice again because we're not born with justice, right? And as alone, everything who they know. So, what are your take on that?
Well, thank you, Abu, and to viewers out there. I think the question where we need for ask in the first place now that a lot of them people are away, they be calling the commissions of inquiry and subsequently blanketly find most of them wanting where they even supposed to be there. That's not the very first question. Some of them find them guilty because they say this thing happen at your ministry where you been there. So as a result, it's a collateral damage. Una all will be working at this ministry here. From this person to that person, all found wanting. That's how a lot of people found themselves at these commissions of inquiry.
Yep.
With the likes of Miata and so many others, if there is no evidence, why you for continue for the deprived then of voting Nadeyon?
Yep.
Because that's a human rights issue. May not ever see that in any part of the world during the course of investigation, then just go and put a blanket hold with no facts, no nothing, and say stop you from everything that will humanly due you. To the extent some anger for begin to live one kind of a semi-poverty life where they're not used for big, you get for force them for making them go begin ask for help.
Yep.
That is not done. That's inhumane. If Miata is not supposed to be there, now they don't see reason say for making them pull on it. It shouldn't just be Miata alone, but every other person we're not supposed to do in the first place. Make them revisit a lot of the issues, and these were some of the concerns during the commissions of inquiry where a lot of lawyers and other professionals then be raised. So they be talk about rules of evidence of courts committee. And before avoid some of them things there. If you say you bring this person here to commissions of inquiry, what you bring them for? What are the evidence you get against this person here? That is what you need, evidence before the court, before you go able to make proper decisions. But they were brought in there blanketly like that, found guilty, collateral like that, every other person where them be go to the found guilty. And now people they suffer. Some man now they never force some man for go negotiate. Some man they negotiate not out of guilt, but because they look at and say there's nowhere else they could go for make them get justice.
Yeah.
So you get for go force man for go negotiate, even when the person not guilty of anything.
Yeah.
Because you go reduce them to some kind of degrading treatment where the person not deserve. There is no form of redress. if the legal system, people will trust the legal system. So man for going to court for go ask for redress. So make them unfreeze me assets. Make they live me life while they continue the investigation. But it is not the case. The moment government issue that ban with legal system, it is blanket. Every other person obey them and abide by them. The no one for no because a government order. Because the government carries the day in everything that we country, and it's unfortunate. That is what Miata and so many other people suffer. So
Yeah, definitely, I agree with you. And these are some of the things that we some of who been talked before. When after they make that blanket injunction against people, them and say, well, how they go hold somebody in property? Sometimes that money they in that account they use in daily expenditure. You go you see enough for use again, so you don't put in a very untenable situation. Then secondly, what happened after you can find out say actually the suspicion we get against that person, they all right. Now you not only violate the person in your own human right, but you don't deprive them for even sometimes you get a lot of people there because Nasalon we get this what we call extended family, the way they depend on one person, because of you, this person, they survive. Now they don't care whole routine you get for take care of them. They're not able for them people and they not only that person they right now deprive. But the people the way they bear now, where they make they suffer, then they survive there now. And then people that they all so it gets maybe 50, 60 people them where you don't deprive one. You see, this is now one of the problems that we will get, Go ahead.
yes, I agree with you, Abu. I agree with you. I agree with you completely. And I think again, watching this again show now that government, if we say we want to fight corruption, a lot of people the reason why they suffer unnecessarily, it is due to the fact that say some man not been declare what in them be get during the time of their appointments properly. Again, that again a play as some form of a disadvantage to certain people.
Yeah.
Because like what you say, so if Miata be do them businesses and they get then other properties and they like you they say, if you don't do a proper declaration at the time of our appointment, some of them things and they therefore don't say no, this person I don't declare this thing even before the can government.
Yeah.
Even before the can government, if you don't get them property. Now this business I be they do this account we don't they exist and so something be don't they happen. But because some of them things and some of them money they are genuinely belong to some of them people there. It is genuine. Some man be they do business before you can a government. It is not genuine money they suffer from. But unfortunately, because some man can do false or wrong declaration where they declare their assets and other interests,
It can
now
pass
it come back for can bet you now.
Yeah.
So that's now you get and legally now. You find it difficult for can defend that issue they now say no this I be done they do now so then they'll go watch your declaration form. They'll not see you will ever declare some of the interest there. And that's so man suffer so now.
I agree with you. Mr. Abdul, I think say you freeze a little bit. Mr. Abdul, so what's your take on this?
The only thing I could say about Miata, this thing where they talk about, I wonder how, like how you say, Attorney General come with that conclusion there, and why they going after people and we, APC people them, because I don't know if it is correct, but you and I know, and the other listeners them, growing up in Sierra Leone, we say in any ministry, the minister, the political head not go able to allegedly without the administrative head, who is the permanent secretary. Because this now the civil servant, the head of the civil service, now that department they win at the permanent secretary. So my question to the SFPP people them, I mean, Miata was Minister of Health, and Kapua, who is now the paramount chief Nabu, Nakenema Kakwa chiefdom, we now been the permanent secretary on Miata. And when APC, SFP Canapa, David Francis bring an office as the secretary or the minister to our permanent secretary, the permanent secretary. So I wonder how somebody like the permanent secretary, and I also know another person where I know go name Naya, where I know very, very, very well. We work under Miata. A senior person now in this new government. Then people and they are still working for the government. They now hold the responsibility about funds in that ministry more so during the Ebola because now they bring all this brouhaha. So how they come up with that? Now only God know. Like what Adams been talk just now that the politics in Africa. Well, sorry, it was you, I guess. Say politics get consequences because now the APC not in power. So those who are perceived to be APC, we have to go after them. And then corruption no go down at the country because any party we come, then go safeguard their own people them, and then go after the opposition people them. So in terms of Miata, not to say because perhaps I know her or whatnot. Even the host way day when before she became minister and up to the time way be minister. Not to him be last day. Papa be last day. Miata na they men. That was the day men they go school and so we left can over. I see can study. So I'm not saying other things may not happen, no, because I was not there.
Okay. All right, Alex say it freeze a little bit, but yeah, it freeze a little bit. So let me go to Doctor.
We are worried.
Yeah, Mr. Abdullah, it Alex say it freeze a little bit. So when you come back to you, Mr. Abdullah, now we'll go to Doctor. Doctor, what are you going to take on the letter where Anthony Beria sent to recommend say Miata and supposed for freeze on freezing in? Okay, I think Mr. Abdullah come back. Okay, just hold on there first. Let us talk to Doctor. They say they're supposed for unfreezing in asset and lift the ban. That this will they discuss. So what are you going to take on that?
Okay. Good afternoon, fellow commentators and viewers. And Dr. Mankota, I have nothing to say. I consider her to be a lucky woman, and I wish she will get your money.
Okay. That's too short. So you really think say okay, since they don't start with Miata, then for look at like what Adam say, then for look at the other people that it could be say, but there are other people where they actually wrong, where them people then they probably they not get any kind of crime where they commit, but they still hold the money. Doctor.
Well, I know what for commit sin because if you know say this na lie and you want for believe say not true, then you are stupid.
Well, we define a delusional, right? Una way na delusional, right?
The money business today in a salon with the government, you ask for talk. Okay, they laugh kinda for smell, but yeah, I could go before.
Okay. Well, anyway, I don't know what I get for talk again, Doctor. All right, Adams, I'll come back to you. You bring a very good point where I want for love with talk in details. Sometimes when people then get assets, then come into public offices, sometimes they're not in one for declare everything, the assets, so then just make what they call partial declaration, half of the assets or 1/3 of the assets, and then declare. Because government no get for go into your account and see this, see that. So that partial declaration, it's enough for you. But the danger here is when another government, if not the same government, that's fine, right? Like if APC, they tell them then government official. Let's say this SLPP, the declaration of the minister say they miss a partial declaration, then get access to beaucoup pass what they declare. But since now partial declaration, in case SLPP can lose the election, Then the APC or any other government party come in, then council say, now so you declare, but now we see this, and then begin to calculate how much they pay you. There is always suspicion. So that now kind of another bad things where the politicians there where they go now government offices and need for take note of, right?
Yes. In fact, this brings me to when now President Bio, when he be the campaign, if they boast about open declaration of an asset, that's Ingo declaring assets and properties publicly.
Yeah.
But when he gets to government, the moment where they swear in, instead what you see now secret and private declaration he go do, aided by the anti-corruption commissioner said, no. It will not be made public. So then you not even begin to give confidence to you people then we get for work for you subordinates them. Because if you don't go public, you are sincere into this whole fight about corruption, you don't make a declaration public. Trust me, every other person where they under you, they will do the same thing. You will force everybody to do public declaration.
Yep.
So what's in that they do, they begin to instill confidence in the system. Now my way they play with trillions of leons, they go afraid now say, but this year we don't go declare this thing yesterday. Today, with this money that they pay me, if I can't own this X amount of property, I'll be found wanting. That's how you help. That's how you help the system for me you beat corruption. But if you don't begin to do even quiet or private declaration, when I just you and the commissioner, now know what you go declare. That declaration day, it is susceptible to change. Because you go in between the process. If now me hire you as commissioner, then sometimes it will be declared first to you now 1 or 2 property have been get. 3 years later, I don't get up to 1,000 property. I cannot declare them to you and back later. Say then you go can say no, this might be not declared them in there way before. It's been a private declaration.
Yeah.
So for me, I don't even trust the process. Whatever it is, if any one of them is sincere and genuine, all declarations should be made public, and it should be a public interest out there. It should be in the public. It's a public interest issue.
I agree.
Do a public declaration. So if they say Abu Mankotana, this you don't go declare. Me Adams are able to go and search and see this address. It belongs to Abu Mankota. It don't declare for we. So when Abu left now, nobody can say Abu don't see, because before Abu they take up this job, he don't declare what he gets. Where Abu they left now, Abu go able to declare exit for we more we know say that then property in between this time and now this Abu get to plus what he don't declare. So if there is a commission of inquiry set against you now, what you don't declare yesterday, it's not going to fall as something of interest no more. Because if you don't declare before you take a public job. But now this is not the problem where we face in a salon. This secrecy in declaring assets. And I have a serious issue with that. Because in order to show a true picture of what exactly this person have been get as at the time of the appointment. We know some man will not be ever own land. Now they don't get series of properties. Some man I rent, some man be the rent. Before 2012. Now they don't own properties. How we gonna see them properties here? They are legitimately owned by them people here before they come into governance. We will not know. Because what you go declare is between yourself and the commissioner.
I totally agree.
That's the problem there. So for me, this whole fight about one being serious about fighting corruption, when not just your opponent say you get for go after, it doesn't show any seriousness for me. Say you're serious in the fight against corruption. If you want for make it be taken seriously, start from the asset declaration first. When we know, say you put her out there in public. There is nothing wrong with you for me. You show say now you get this property legitimately. What you the hide? What you the hide if it's genuine? Would I go meet you say, oh, it will be a security issue? It will not be, because you don't own them before you go there.
Yeah.
You don't own them before you go there. It's a public interest issue.
I agree.
So now there a lot of them, both the former and now the current people who they work under this BO administration, they will be become victim of the same thing where APC people they suffer. So a lot of people where they suffer so in the previous regime, not like for saying na bokum na all man thief. You understand?
Yeah.
Some man then genuinely own them properties. But because they're not being declared, some of them things that it's coming back to them now.
Yeah.
So that one they serve BO. So now, trust me, it will be times 10 or 20. Because that one they don't suffer. So then the vengeance and everything of what you don't go through. Then say go one for can say no. This man not been get this property. This you not been get this. Then they begin look at what you they own. Then the next what's in the Apple, what's in the APC people are they suffer. So some man if in property worth 100 million. What in this current government, they inflate the value of farm simply because they want to get at Abu Mankuta. When genuinely probably your house is worth 100,000, then they go carry with a valuation officer way who is not licensed but qualified by experience. He not ever show anything. They can't just say Abu Mankuta house is worth $5 million, and you cannot justify $5 million from your earnings from what you don't work in a government. Where go genuinely should say you genuinely own that property. So government will say you acquire this property as a result of proceeds of corruption.
Yeah. All right. Let me come back to Mr. Abdul. Mr. Abdul, you've been freeze a little bit, but now you be excited for talk about complete your statement and maybe you go on for talk about this partial declaration or private declaration where government officials and they do where they come back and buy them after them come on na office and another government coming. Mr. Abdul.
Okay, well, that is obvious. What I've been trying for say, I wonder how the SLPP APC people. So within the confines of Miata. Let me stay within Miata where a government paper don't come and say they don't freeze an asset and it can go any side at to now all over the world. Left Kapua Wenatri, the Minister of Health. Because bro now the Minister of Health during the Ebola, where they say millions of dollars we have Kapua and then go after Miata.
You're going in and out.
It's fishy. And they read what Ajibu they write right now. Now something like that can happen. When SLPP left power, APC come back now power. People like Kapua, they're still alive. Now Paramount Chief Nana waiting that new government of APC going to do. You know? So this is now that I've been trying for make the point I've been trying for talk about where I've been a break up on and off. So you will not say from the get-go something is wrong. I mean, not correct because yes.
All right, you freeze back. Okay, now let me bring in. Okay, Mr. Kagbo, unmute your phone. All right, Mr. Kagbo. I don't say he just come in. But here is the thing. Read what in Ajibujalo writes now the road and call and comment on that. You get any comments, Mr. Kagbo?
Yeah, I do. Good afternoon. Unfortunately, I am a bit late. We just got into the radio. And my brother, my nephew, Mr. Jallo there, Tijan Jallo. Which when we get to Rokulang, you know what I'm talking about. He's saying that SLPP, including my uncle, Mr. Kagbo. All right. SLPP, including my uncle, Mr. Kagbo, in New York, will be in trouble when we come back and evaluate what the assets as against the monument. Well, actually, you see, corruption is part of our society. It's not like you are coming on to the SLPP. Whether you are SLPP or APC, we are all corrupt. That's why you see that when people saying that, APC, they said APC is corrupt, but SLPP is more corrupt. But you got to remember that we're not having foreigners in the government. It's the same APC, Sierra Leoneans we have. So the corruption of APC is the same corruption of SLPP. What I'm against or what I'm for is that we have somebody within this kind of system which is not appropriate, who has put up his head up and say, no, we have to say no to it, even though he's corrupt. And that's why I am, and that's why I respect him. So coming back to say you're going to hunt SLPP just like they are hunting APC, it's not a correct way. You're hunting Sierra Leoneans, and we know everybody's corrupt. SLPP didn't tell you they are not corrupt. And besides, the people in the government are not foreigners. They are all Sierra Leoneans. We were born, most of us were born men with this corruption, and we grew into it. And you know very well. And when I had somebody, I know I was late, he mentioned that, I think Mr. Adams from London, he mentioned that people have wealth and because they don't declare it or so and so on and so forth. Yeah, we understand that, Mr. Tijan, no. Right, we do understand that, Mr. Adams, yeah, we do understand that people have assets, some people are rich, but trust me, there are few rich people in Sierra Leone, and we all born there, we know the tricks. I mean, when people are corrupt, they are corrupt. So, I mean, those people, you know, we are born the same like any other person in Sierra Leone. Now, all of a sudden, you become a minister or you become a director or CEO or whatever you become, you know, within a space of 2 months or even 1 year, you put in houses, you bring in these things you have not been able to acquire from the time you are over 30, 40 years of age. There's no magic about that. It's the funds of the nation that you are using. So people are corrupt. We are all corrupt. So saying hunting SLPP is not the correct way. I support you by saying hunting ourselves with the Sierra Leoneans. We have to fight ourselves.
Okay. Let me ask you another question quickly before I go to Dr. Kamara. What about the letter where Anthony Brewer, the Attorney General, recommend that Miata Kargbo should be, in travel ban should be lifted and therefore unfreezing in assets in bank accounts.
Right.
It thinks that the right thing now, right?
Well, yes, because these are the authorities who we put forward, who we entrusted the system in Sierra Leone, who look forward to what they are the securities for what we have, what is Sierra Leoneans. And based on, I know he didn't just come like that and say it is based on thorough investigation and findings. And so if that be it, we have to trust him. And that they should unfreeze them and allow her to travel if that's what she has. Remember, there are benchmarks, there are certain standards they put to do this investigation and evaluations. So if she meets the standard, I'm sure, and when we trust them, the authority, this kind of authority, we have to respect that. So I do respect that. And that's all I can say about you. Yeah.
All right, thank you very much. Now go back to Dr. Kamara before we go to Adams. Dr. Kamara, Peter Dauda say if the next APC government is really serious about the war against corruption, they shouldn't continue to accommodate people accused of corruption within their ranks. What are your take?
Okay, I go answer Mr. Peter Dauda as a professor and make it take pen and paper and write. Now, you see, the whole world, what you don't see in America, they continue for nurture lies, condone the lies. And we see what lies don't do where they be nearly born the Congress. The only recommendation I'll give to my own country, look what's happened. Where President Trump became, he slapped so many executive orders. Guess what? As Joe Biden can, what's he do? He overturned it all. It's the same thing that is going to happen in Sierra Leone. Trust me. Because if this is what is going to happen, we don't see from time immemorial. Pashaki when Ashaki they ask, you like you thief you know the thief rich, Victor Foe. Come down to the line, 30 days the thief. But today they are making minus or Mr. Honest. Just like quoting my learned friend there, Mr. Kagbo say, everybody they thief na salo. The best thing we therefore do, I'll recommend that make them do like what President Biden they do so, make him make general amnesty for thief man them. He draw the line, everybody become free, then take from there they begin go. Because otherwise, As that government they come, some man they know they put their foot in the ground. So that's it. Mr. Dawuda, if you are listening, this is my answer. Read between the lines. Thank you.
Let me go to Adams. Adams, read what Ajibu Jalo say about the statement where you put earlier. Okay, you mute yourself. Adams, you mute yourself.
Oh, sorry. Adams, as you speak, the president and more than 70% of the current ministers are not compliant with asset declaration requirements, and that is a fact. So now, this is what I am saying, Abu. Now we go one for wonder. When the next APC government come in, then somebody go and tell me, say, oh no, this man here, now been this, then be the pay am na US, or na society it been worth. But you did not declare them. And for any way you not declare, they could be construed as proceeds of corruption. Yeah. Plain and simple. Plain and simple. So now the onus now is no longer on the state, but it's on you now for proof how you get them. How you get them. So if you tell me, say you're serious about the fight against corruption, and then 70%, like my brother don't say, of your appointees, they are flouting that rule, and then you're there pretending as if nothing is happening. When they say corruption, the one that we pull strength pan, the one that we not been in power yesterday. Now they want to pull strength pan, but it's happening right under your feet. Right under your feet. We'll be supposed to get a yearly declaration. What's in the ACC they do for keep we informed? Nothing like that is happening. Nothing. Nothing, absolutely. We don't see broad daylight accusations. We don't come out against members of this government. What are they doing to go after them? Then give we an update about the corona audit reports. 47 laptops and other stuff. Then tell we about people don't pay money. But up till now, from what the commissioner said, and will give names of them people in the, we've not had their names out yet. They've not given out names. Simply because they don't give an opportunity for what we conclude, say, the reason why those names have not been made public, it's as a result of the people and where they're involved. They could be system people. So they do not want to embarrass this government. So where is the sincerity in the fight? This is the concern with some of we get. You not declare what you produce. Say again?
I wish I could help you on that. I wish you.
I know, Mr. Kagbo.
Give me some time to explain a little about
Mr. Kagbo, hold on. Let me go to Mr. Abdul first. They come to you, Mr. Kagbo.
Okay.
Mr. Abdul, you did right?
Mr. Potter, what I want to say no more. I think Adams and my big brother, Mr. Dr. Kamara, I'm sorry. Yeah, I say what I want to talk about. First, I begin with what Dr. Kamara said. In order for that actually all this nonsense, both parties for understand like what Dr. Kamara say, Mr. Kagbo say they are thief. That is true. But at what level? So in my own small way, I believe say when you come out university or high school, you work for your country. If you don't work there a quarter of a century, you get one host, maybe through thief money. Maybe to me that's fine. But when you just kind of power, like I believe Adams be one church on that, but he make a mistake where he say some of them not be that in 2012. So now go to 2008, where matter 18, where matter kind of power. And all of a sudden, now then people here don't get money. We not go talk on national radio. And some of we get evidence that maybe where they talk to you, I get me own flesh and blood, where the evidence is already there. Where somebody the thief take money in their hand, so they all the thief. I think say waiting for happen is for put law there in the country. For example, in America, yeah, we all know that you only they get government services when you are official duty. When you know they're on official duty, you know for use government property.
Okay.
And I get the evidence that I mean, they're all day. But then Maya, then go continue for chief. My culture, if you not think where SLPP can have power, otherwise the likes of Chemosis say logos there, they're not for the ghosts alone. Because they've put fear in them, say they don't thief, now this and no. But what happened? Today they're all alone. And know that my culture, know that BO no know where to go on. Mother BO know where they go on. But are they talking now and go back and check later on? Mother one pull most of them where they get they said and they check. The fear is most of them they get constituency now. They get constituency them where they support them. So if mother they think say if you win the next election, they go pull them. An example, mother no go.
All right, you freeze again. Okay. I think you can drive. So let me go to. I think now, Mr. Kagbo, now you've been saying you get something where you want to add to.
Yeah, you see, I can argue and give instances for so many things, but with the corruption in Sierra Leone, I'm so amazed and happy and support the president 110% on that, because for the mere fact that myself and I know thousands and thousands of other Sierra Leoneans don't have ties with SLPP, don't have ties with APC. We are just ordinary citizens. I don't have a brother there. I don't have a sister there. And I know corruption has cost us a very big loss in the country. So that's why I'm always amazed. I'm happy. And it doesn't matter what step Madam Bio or what direction he's going, whether he's targeting SLPP, APC or not. When APC comes to power, they're going to target SLPP. That's correct. So this is why I always have been amazed and praise Madam Bio for taking a challenge. And I always say that in this media that Madam Bio is a risk taker. He has taken so many risks, and I have most times given the number of risks that he has gone through. This is another major risk which he has taken, because he is the president and everybody's accusing him now that he's the most corrupt one. When APC comes, we're going to find out. They're going to hold him. So, I don't want anybody to be angry with the corruption, the way it is being haunted in Sierra Leone one way or the other, because it's not going to be a permanent government. And then what I was expecting, everybody, whether APC, SLPP, blue or black or white, we should have put our hands together. So I'm against people who are talking about, oh, he's doing this, he's targeting these people. I'm against that, because he's not going to be there permanently. The other government is going to come at any point in time. We know that elections could be any way. We cannot predict. So when they come, they're going to hold the people. We have to have a stepping stone. Why I commend Mandabio is he created this stepping stone. And that's why I'm 100% support of him. He can target APC now. I don't care. As long as he wins some of them from that. And when APC come, they target whoever they get to target. I don't care. Because these people are damaging our country. I don't support nobody. Yes, go ahead.
Yeah. And I don't think that's the best way for fight corruption, in my own opinion. You fight corruption by targeting only the people where they outside, and not actually targeting the people that way they inside. Like what thing they happen to this one now. Madabio, it gets people them where they very well know saying yes. I commend that because people like Dr. Sandy is out, right? Because of the too much headache way they give Madabio. But Madabio, if you want to fight corruption, he said corruption has no place in his own government. This was what Madabio was saying. You understand? So not only supposed to target the people, the APC, he also supposed for target the SLPP. That's my main problem that I get. But before
that's correct. Let me just
go ahead.
You already mentioned it. He targets SLPP as the same as APC. We see it more in APC because that is the past, and he wanted to get hold of those people. Now, remember, he cannot fight corruption in double. In other words, he's going to be a lapse in one way or the other. Anyhow you put it, there's too much burden in fighting corruption from the past regime, and too much burden again in fighting corruption in the present regime. So, but more so when he came to power, the focus was more on the out of governance regime. Now, that's just a pace. He set the ball rolling that when you guys come and do, that's your work. The opposition's work, though he fight it but to a certain extent. And wherever he's not, you're going to continue. But when you come, when he come back, when APC come to power, they're not going to fight SLPP. I mean, they're not going to fight themselves.
Mr. Kagbo, I don't believe so. I don't believe saying that the best way for fight corruption, because you're not going to tell me, say, okay, me your host, it does see, but I left and first, now go clean the other person in host first before I can me your host. That's not the best way. You clean the house first, then you go to the other person house, you clean that. But anyway,
that is correct. It all depends how dirty your house is.
Well,
in this case, Sierra Leone is not only dirty.
Mr. Kagbo, 3 years. Within 3 years, what SLPP don't do so far won't come out. I'm not going to be tempted like when people say you don't pass the 11 years of Madabio. I think you know fear, but they don't do so much damage within the 3 years. So also the dirty part, then can house then. Hold on, let me finish. During the time of the APC, the first term, you not be the see them kind of corruption here at all. You very well know that. Now when they see today, so well you can say because now social media are there, so then they expose so many things. But them kind of corruption now what they see will not be the see and during the
all right, Mr. Mangota, let me explain. Let me say this to you. First of all, the Sierra Leone is filthy. It's not only that, it's filthy to the core. All right, and SLPP and APC are all Sierra Leoneans. Okay, now this is already something a past regime, which was actually the main the starting point of the fighting of corruption. At the same time, he's fighting corruption within his own party. All right, and I think this is the right thing. And when you come to power, when APC come to power, they're not going to fight APC again. They're going to be fighting SLPP.
Mr. Can you tell me the corruption where Madabio don't fight within your governments right now for the past 3 years?
Now, you are saying that the 3 years have surpassed the 10 or 11 years of Anes Kuruma.
No, I don't say so. I know what I'm tempted to say so.
If you don't say that, well, other people have said that. But that's, I believe, it's an over exaggeration. Why I said that, and I don't even believe it. Hold on. I don't even believe it until when APC come and catch them. So
but the people ask you, all right? Because they ask is, can you tell me within the past 3 years the corruption fights where SLPP don't do within the SLPP government?
You just mentioned about Sandy as an example.
They're not telling me say Sandy that corruption make them pull up.
Well, you will find out in due course, but you just like this is what you get it from people. You know that is what it is.
I think so. Sandy, it they give headache to Madabio, not because he corrupt, but the headache they give to Madabio, like that make it pull up. But anyway, then we go to Adams. Adams, read what thing Peter Dowda say because he specifically you mentioned Victor. I think now you be mentioned or somebody else.
I mean,
actually, not to me mention them, not to me.
Oh, okay, now, doctor. Okay, doctor, read the now you mentioned them, so respond to that.
First of all, not because he's from the south, and he's also from the APC to start with. And if we would try for race for other able chief in that country, there. I want us to change the narrative. I want to entice the two parties them, whosoever come to power, make it say, now, so, I don't do. Make it, he get pointers. He gets pointers of development. But for say, okay, I can't chase me party or me opponent for say, what he don't do, how much he don't thief. Whilst I not get the moral compass, me self, for do that one day because I'm doing the worst. So, I mean, they try for educate people and make them look at something. Because all this what they talk is very meaningless. Now make I say, oh, give the laugh kinder for smell. Why African laugh, you fat for say smell? When me you fat, it smell past you on double.
All right, Adams, read this. Let you answer from Ajibu Jalo. You mute. Adams, you mute.
Before Ajibu Yon, I think there's another comment way somebody sent.
This one.
We say, yeah. He said this APC accusation of SLPP corruption is overhyped because of the stance that the SLPP is taking and the fight against corruption. It is falsely assumed as a political tug of war. I think these are some of the most unfortunate comments and way people they write, but I can understand the bipartisan nature of it. But if you the profess for be a citizen we care about your country, sometimes as much as we all day at different sides, you will see the truth and then you acknowledge the truth.
Yeah.
So you tell me this is overhyped corruption when the Auditor General's report is all over the place with proceeds of corruption. You tell me this is an overhyped corruption when the 2018 Public Finance Act tell you say timber for be sold at X amount of cubic meters, una go sell them per containers. Where as a result of that undervaluation, it cost the state, according to the Auditor General, over $5 billion money for don't kind of the state. This is not what we show. The evidence is there. You can get what you want for make about the calculations, but the law is the law. Until the law changes, it remains the law. So you tell me this is overhyped when the first lady don't tell we say, you know, ever they take money, that's alone government. They need to pay them. What they do na man na irresponsible na in this. And now documents are all over the place, including an interview himself gave video interview where he acknowledged say, yes, then began money, but he use them for projects then. We come under the office of the president. So you tell me, say they overhyped this corruption, where office of the first lady spend hundreds of millions of leons just on furniture. Literally every month you spend 40-something, 50-something million leons per furniture. You tell me it is overhyped when the same person when they go buy the furniture to the AA and that same AA supply the now they back they buy fuel. Over 100 almost million leons just on fuel alone. Now the same side. So you tell me how overhyped that accusation is. You tell me. How is that overhyped? These are facts. You see, there's one thing about facts. Facts can be very stubborn. You know they will erase them because it is all over the place. The facts are there. So if you're serious about fighting corruption, not only pull strength by the opposing government or the one that don't go, pull the same strength by young government people, make we know say you're serious. You tell me you're serious about the fight against corruption when there was an accusation of some money the way kind of chief minister in your account, where in less than 24 hours, the fastest investigation ever to be conducted by an anti-corruption commissioner, within 24 hours, he tell we say there is no case. So you tell me that is not corruption. Come on, let's be serious about this fight against corruption. I can understand, go after APC. If there are people there who are found wanting, let them pay because they are guilty of corruption. I can understand with that. But equally so, if there are people where they serve under this government whose names have been tainted or blacklisted for corruption, the law should equally bite those people. It's as simple as that. Then we know say you're ready for treaty all under the same law. Not to for make another government come. You can't fight same people there, like Mr. Kagbo they say. When the other government can say you can't go OBN, SLPP. That's not the kind of thing. Otherwise, it will be some kind of a retribution. One government to the other, and a retribution that. Not to that we need. Because now that eventually will go for lead we to a part of no return. We don't need that. If you say this is not the law, whoever serves me under my government, they should equally pay when they go contrary to the law, as well as those before us. That is what the law is all about. That's all about equality under the law.
Mr. Abdul, before I bring you come, you need for make your video fine first. So we'll go bring you come in.
So I don't know what will be the question where Ajib will be the ask.
Yeah. I'll pull on back to for you. Read them.
Say if the president is looking for corruption,
I have
he
to
need
leave.
not
I have to
look.
leave.
Doctor, you can go.
If the president is looking for corruption, he need not look too far. The office of the first lady is rife with financial anomalies. Inauguration, you know,
5 billion.
funds of 5 billion, hands
Billion.
of our guards, 2.9 billion fuel, for 3 quarters only 2.8 billion, 49,000 bags of rice missing. These are some of the synopsis where Abidigi just now. So, you cannot say when the evidence are there, if this sponsor don't say, ever, Salon government not ever finance the office, the records are there. Ever take money that Salon government for anything. The only first lady will not ever get Salon government money by projects and everything. So if the evidence that we share about the pool so now not become public, now so we all for the go with this notion say this woman they do we favor now we country we never take money in our government and for do all the way they do. But now that the evidence don't come, they don't twist the whole conversation. For say no, I'm not gonna use mere money for do this. So who say on office money go come on? Or the office of the first lady now office under the president. The office of the first lady is never an office under the president. It is never an office. Nowhere in the constitution does it say. And it was not even created by the presidency or the constitution. So people need to understand this. It is just a customary role that you're the first gentleman, your wife becomes the first lady. It is customary. Just not custom day. But America, whose office of the first lady, where they budget for, to the tune that say the office of the first lady, they get more money past the vice presidency in America. Where is that possible? It is not. It is just customary. Just now respects the now would extend to the president, your wife say, oh, this is not the mama of the nation. However, if there are projects that are things that you're passionate about, I mean, they should be out there, make people know say these the engagements are now we money now that they use for engaging things are make somebody go. You go customize a menstrual pad, then you come for Kangi, like for saying a charity Kangi, when we state cover, they don't go use for printing. Who does that?
All right. So, Mr. Abdul, we will not see you now the screen. I think you put your phone, but let me go to Mr. Abdul until you come. I'm not going to bring you come at the screen. So when you come at the video, I will bring you come. Mr. Kagbo, looking at this, I want for let come back to the point where we decide for make. I don't say you're not still satisfied. The point where you decide for make is the SLPP get the right for fight corruption within, but you're not supposed for the fight within the SLPP is supposed to be minimal because they focus on the opposition. So when the opposition can have their own responsibility for can focus on the opposition. And in my own opinion, I think saying a tit for tat business and for fight corruption, if you want to fail, start tit for tat. Now a collective responsibility, and you get for clean your house first because you're not gonna tell me saying that stop for drink. Then when did they talk at the smell the alcohol now you mouth? I don't go take you serious. So now the same thing with the fight against corruption. You're not gonna tell me say it's time for fight corruption when corruption is right in your own government. This now in they undermine Madabio right now for the fight against corruption. Maybe Madabio being initially get the good intention for say yes, they can't fight corruption, but the way things they go, if you're not able to stamp out corruption within your government, anything what you do to the opposition, people then they just regard and say, nah, a witch hunt. What is that you take?
Well, just like I said, I always commend Madabio for being into this kind of situation. A risk taker. Corruption has been in Sierra Leone probably over 60 years or more. And it's not a 3-year war. It's not 11 years war. It's a war we have to fight maybe another 120 years continuously. Remember, we have children that are born today. And these children, they still have the gene of their fathers, corrupt, starting from the home, the basic from the house. You know very well. Even, hold on, I'm coming. You're asking me. So
Yeah, no,
okay, all right. Let me not go far.
There is no corrupt gene. It is outside of the genome.
Say,
Then they grow up, and they land the gene.
Okay. All right, Mr. Mankota, I get you. I know what you are talking about. We come to the academic side of it now, and that's correct. Okay, right. Now, corruption is very rampant. In fact, it's the order of the day in Sierra Leone. It cannot be fought within 3 years or any president coming in for 11 years.
I agree with you.
It has been for over 60 years. We were born into it. I was born into corruption. And you are born into corruption.
I agree.
Now, the fight of it, with the intention coming from the Madabio's declaration, he said he's going to put corruption to an end. He's going to fight corruption with me and you. But Madabio didn't come with angels from heaven. He was not an angel. You cannot remember, put this in point. You're coming to fight something, but you are part of the system. And that's why I credited him. And it's going to be very difficult. And he said that corruption is going to fight back. And corruption is highly sophisticated in Sierra Leone, so much so that the people are even richer than the government. The corrupt people, it's a cartel. And when you guys blaming Madabio, whilst he's handling one situation under the Commission of Inquiry, COI, which came to look into the past, and he has to look at the present. There must be, he cannot take it in a balanced way. There must be areas where he will focus more so in the past. Because those that are doing corruption now, even though he's trying as much to get rid of some of them and put them into question, he will not be able to finish that, because even if you take, like for instance, he took off Sandy, he bring another man. Where was that man? Is he from Europe? Where is he from? Is he from America? He's from Sierra Leone. So everybody is corrupt. So I want you to at least praise Madabio for starting this fight. And it's going to be a continuous fight from generation to generation until we reach there. It might not be during your generation once you finish corruption. But we want that to be finished. And this is a stepping stone.
Mr. Kagbo?
Correct.
I agree with you. I think the disconnection where we get is the method. Remember, you know why the former president failed for fight corruption? Remember when Anet Koma came to power, the first thing he said, there is no sacred cow. You remember that statement, right? Now, in your government for corruption, not so. To be honest with you, Anet Koma tried a level best now in first term. I don't say corruption not been there. Corruption been there, but it been tried because at the first president that one day, when they accused in ministers, at that time, what happened? If they accuse you, if they say go out until they've done the investigation, right? That was something where a lot of we being very, very happy with. We proud doing that time. Yes. The second time was a messy time for Anet Koma and for the APC government. We know that. Yeah, we know that. So now the same thing with Madabio. Madabio can say he can fight corruption no matter where it is. That are your statements where you talk. They say no matter where it is. And when he focus for fight corruption, you don't say the Commission of Inquiry, people like we so when they announce her, we support her. Not so. We support her. You know that some of we now this program here will come out publicly. Say,
you support them.
I say some of we. Yeah. So we talk about if this not a witch hunt, the right thing that one day, because corruption don't destroy we country. And one great person to defend corruption, that we all therefore support the president for making his defense corruption. Unfortunately, the president for being done cleaning your house first.
No.
All right. That's
speaking as Iranians.
I know they take somebody when I corrupt force it. I know they blame the government.
How would you know every Sierra Leonean is corrupt? You just accepted that.
Mr. Kagbo,
how would you know this man is not corrupt? You hire somebody, you only hire him, you are not responsible for what he did. I mean, you don't know about what he did. You can hold him responsible later on, but you don't tell him to do that.
Okay.
It only depends on the action you take.
I
against the
understand.
person.
I understand.
Yes.
I understand. But if you don't come find out say this person corrupt, what they do? You dey kick am out.
Of course. And
Now,
you make sure, okay, you make sure that it's proven, and whatever is corrupt with, either he pay for it or he go to jail, and he's taking it. Whatever the recommendations are, you follow them.
all right.
That's all.
But that's what I the question earlier. Say, give me one person where and Madam Bio, they don't accuse of corruption. Madam Bio, where it's that person there for making come out. Give me one person.
This is the problem you have, Mr. Mankota. The guy came in fighting corruption within three years, right? You want to equate him with an Eskuruma who's been fighting corruption for over 11 years. You can't wait to see even 5 years to see what he can do. You guys are evaluating an Eskuruma, Madam, you're too early with regards to what he's doing. This is where you miss it. You don't give the guy a chance. When he started this, you guys started saying it's a witch hunt. And instead of you guys support, you say it's a witch hunt. Without going into nothing about it.
I agree. There were people within the APC where at the very start and saying which ones. That's how I agree with you. But Madam Bio get the burden of proof, right? Because now in the feds corruption, and if you want for me, point here is we then at the same page. The only thing is the method in which the implementation is supposed to take place is the problem. Madam Bio, if at the feds corruption, I have to be clean. I not go tell somebody say you're not clean, then I know say Mr. I'm not clean. That person know they take me serious. So the fight against corruption starts from within, not from without. You know, so that's not the thing that they. But let me bring in Adams again. Adams Adibujalo bring something again where he say the Minister of Health, Sheku Kuroma, Minister of Energy, have started. I think he start. Let me start with Usai. You will then come. You can read them.
The Minister of Information claimed the APC spent money like drunken sailors. Now we say the First Lady spending $2.3 million just to bring in visitors for the launching of a white elephant program. The Sierra Leone wage bill has grown from 180 billion to 237 billion by giving jobs to the boys, more ministries and embassies, so as parastatals. All ministers have brand new V8 Land Cruisers with average cost of $77,000. And you tell us we left you a broken economy. So all of this, so basically what's in Ajibu the highlights now the excesses and the insincerity of this government. One, reducing cost. Say that they can reduce the government wage bill. Yes, reduce the government wage bill with an astronomical increase of over 40%, from 170 to 237 billion, the wage bill. This is how much SLPP loves Sierra Leone. You create series of foreign embassies. We come at an extra cost. First Lady launch hands off of our girls, $2.3 million, only all thanks to Sharon Oba for make we know the details of that one day now. So you tell me what you mean. That an average Land Cruiser, they cost we $77,000.
That's alone.
Yes, that's alone.
For that matter.
That's just in maintenance and all of that. $77,000 per annum. Then you tell me, say, you mean well for Sierra Leone. No, you not mean well for Sierra Leone. And then you keep accusing your opponents and say, they're not left nothing for you. They're not left nothing for you, but 3 months when we take power, we remit over almost billion leos. Now the First Lady in account. And then when I say we not meet nothing. You see, the thing with me, they say, this is not just about the fight against corruption. When we want for make other people recognize we good work, make we first of all recognize the good work of our predecessors. Nobody is saying APC were perfect, but at least give credit where it is due. Give credit to them to the good things they wouldn't do. Then you can tighten also you think say needs to be tightened up. Then we will give you credit to that. But you're not gonna make your predecessor look like a villain then you can make yourself look like an angel when the facts are there. And now it is much more easy to make the facts go out. With a twinkle of a click on your phone, it's all over the place. So all this week, for the last couple of weeks, I defend SLPP, they defend no more. Now defend every one of them. All man, they run for come to the aid of the First Lady. Say, hey, this now government to an extent, somebody the way where they tell the First Lady for tone down the rhetoric and some of the, the way they respond to issues. What's in comments? They tell the lady, say, Ameki and the lady then get back and forth because there's a good relationship with them. However, if the lady so concerned, the lady not vote for her again. So it's more or less you're saying, do not vote in my husband anymore. Because when you do, I will continue to put it on your face. That's the kind of thing, because not so you named in a ballot, but my husband. So if you say no vote for me again, then may not vote for you man again. Because you will continue to do the same things. You just cannot bring yourself to be humble enough and understand that you're dealing with public funds. You're not doing anybody a favor. What you do so somebody else we don't do, if not what you're doing, but something close. So when you leave that office, another person they candy back, we go can do probably times 10. And we go hold them again to the same standard where they hold you. So just because you're being held to that standard, don't mean say, now they hate you. You see your demeanor, your response, the tone at which you speak to people, it make people respect you even more than what you could do. You can do everything under the sun, but if you don't respect the people, they will never value what you're doing for them, except those within your circle. Even those within your circle, when you left power, then will begin to tell you, say, "Bo, come on, bo, left bo, you not begin to do this, you not be to do that." We've seen that happening. It does.
Yeah, I think say the best weapon for APC, in my own opinion, against the SLPP is the First Lady. Now we best weapon that one day. What would they use against them? The First Lady, it don't help with so much. It don't destroy the SLPP so much. I think say even Madabio, if Madabio na somebody when a man where they tell him wife say stop. Sometimes you go don't tell and say me they are just turn down the way they come. Because the First Lady, and he talk him, he say from where he been small, now person will left for show off. You know, he seek attention.
Not attention.
Yeah, that's always talk about the First Lady talk. He say he always they seek attention. And it's a way they. So, Mr. Kagbo, go tell when our First Lady, SLPP First Lady say, let he turn down the talk. They destroy a man, they destroy una party, and at the same time, it obstructs the country in development, because all them can't see people then they focus on instead of focus on other things. And the SLPP that way supposed for work. Now that they can't defend and they forget about what they can do. You see, go ahead. I give you the last one.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. It's rather unfortunate for man like Dr. Mankota and
Adams.
Mr. Adams talking about the First Lady and talking about things against her. I would say this to you. Where you think Madabio is his weakest point is where his strongest point lies. What you think he's going to use against Madabio through his wife is what is strongest in Madabio's government.
You sure?
Well, we understand. She's the co-president.
I am 100% sure.
And Madabio now the vice president, the First Lady now the president.
Co-president, Mr. Kagbo. So we accept, Mr. Kagbo. We accept. My co-president.
Yeah, you can call it politics. You can say anything you want to say about it. But I know every average Sierra Leonean wants to get a child or a daughter who is married to the president and help help her husband to succeed. And that is what this lady is doing. Okay?
All right.
And you think she's the weakest? She's the strongest of Madabio.
Okay.
And that is the area SLPP is going to win you.
Amen. That will see when the election campaign starts. We will see.
All right.
Hey, we don't get the information all the way. It the back. We put out for the back.
You're gonna meet us to debunk that information. We are
so we don't get time again for talk about the FA Brewer. I will the NEPA. We will talk next week. I will try. I don't send a message to Mohamed Kalon. Hopefully, if he go able to at the program, and I will try forget if I will get the other side of this the other group for if they now we can talk to them say okay, waiting they go on, waiting at the way forward. So we don't go out of time. We're not able to talk about that at this program again until next week. So I just want to thank a very I from London, Mr. Dr. Kamara, Mr. Abdul. Thank you very much. We will see you back next week, the same time, the same place. And we will not forget.
I don't hear that. The last one.
Okay.
Yeah.
I say officially that you are the representative for the SLPP now, not the network.
No, I'm a lone wolf. I'm just a Sierra Leonean. I'm not APC. I'm not SLPP. I'm just a Sierra Leonean. A lone wolf. Just to say what it is.
All right. Thank you very much for your efforts.
Thank you.
Good night.